Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Max, and if you are watching this is being recorded as an unlisted stream. But if you are watching this, it means that I have succeeded. Just to prove that it is a live unlisted. Oh, I don't know if I've got chat on, or the chat memory on, or whatever it is. But I'll put a little thing in. Should be able to see my own unlisted stream, right? If I go to live? Yeah. I can indeed. Can't watch my own. Okay, fine. Do it the other way. Hello, everyone. This is real. Yeah. So I'll tell you the plan as we start this, our very first battle. The plan is I have 1,111 subscribers. I have studied for my exams. I have a light workload, I guess, over the Christmas holidays. And I have done British Tech Tree challenges, I've done German Tech Tree challenges. I've done all different all different types of challenges. And, you know, I was going to do the same sort of thing again for my 1,111 subscriber special, but then I thought, no. You know, I am not good at much. You know, I'm not great at biology, to be honest. I'm not great at writing. But the one thing I do seem to be pretty good at, consistently, is flying Spitfires in War Thunder, as depressing as that is for everyone involved. So the question perhaps is quite simple: can I fly 111 battles? That is a battle for every 10 subscribers I have in War Thunder. Yeah, I said this to my chat and they were a little bit afraid for my health. I don't necessarily blame them. If each battle takes 25 minutes, and which is basically 30, and we do an 8-hour shift at 16 battles, so yeah, assuming we get this on the very first try and don't die, which perhaps is a very high bar to clear, perhaps. We won't be able to finish it for a couple of days, probably a couple of weeks, to be honest with you. And that's assuming we never die, because if we die, the streak is broken and we restart. So we're talking 111 battles without dying once. I mean, if you look at my service record right now, you know, like, I've played quite a few battles in the Spitfire, but this is gonna like double my overall battles. Certainly in the Spitfire Mark 1A, I've only ever flown in my entire War Thunder career 86 battles in it, and I've died 44 times. So 50% of the time I fly this plane, I die. I'm hoping that those numbers are a little bit obscured based on the fact that when I was flying the Spitfire Mark 1, I was like 12. I am now 22. My skill in War Thunder has also significantly increased since then, I would say. But should I pull this off? Should I actually achieve this? I do think it will be a new bar. No one will ever be able to say, "Oh, I'm the best Spitfire pilot in War Thunder ever again," unless it's me. I will that title I will own. You can call me Max, God of Spitfires, King of the Unemployed, Defender of the British Tech Tree Challenge, Breaker of Chains, Slayer of Dragons, and Slayer of Brett Johnson here, probably. But that one is a little bit in the air. Traditionally, you wouldn't want to go for. I mean, like, okay. This isn't my first rodeo doing something like this. I've done it before. I've reached 50 battles. So basically we're doubling what I managed to do before. Going after a bomber is a bad idea because all it takes is one simple, small hit in the engine and it's all over. And unlike like fighters and stuff, you can't really outmaneuver a bomber. What happens is what happens. Okay, I don't think I started that fire, or I did start one of the fires, but yeah, we're only gonna get an assist. To make this easier for myself, we are gonna count assists as kills. So in my previous challenges, I would say, oh, you have to always get a kill to progress. For this challenge, I think it's fair, based on the level of difficulty that we have increased it to, that we can count assists as good enough. Basically, the assist, the kills, is just there so that you don't just spawn in and then immediately just, you know, JL on the airfield. I am going to allow Jing out on the airfield as well, if you are the last player on the team. If you are the last player on the team. The reason is just to make it more fun for everyone else on the enemy team, because that rule wasn't in there, and, you know, you were the last player on the team, and you're doing one of these challenges. What you would do is quite simple, right? You would just sit on the airfield with the anti-aircraft guns and never really risk it, because why would you? There's literally no benefit for you doing that. So in order to make it not like that, we've decided to switch it up a bit. These Russians are going to be a consistent problem for us, so we might as well just get used to it now. Got a Yak 1 on our tail. We just dealt with one Yak 1. Gonna take a squeeze. He does anything. Nope, he's decided that he doesn't want to fight me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't blame him. I don't blame him at all, but he can do whatever he likes. What's he gonna do? Flip around and try and come back on me? Is that his plan? I do believe so. I'm not too worried. This ain't my first rodeo. Usually they pull out once you've shown them that you've seen them. Present a small profile. A little dodge. Turn fire. He will be able to outrun me. That's pretty obvious, but I'm still alive. Still in the fight. So no worries. I'm gonna keep trying to get a kill though. Just because, I don't know, it just feels better if you get a kill. You know, it feels more valuable than, oh, I got one bomber. Look at me. Who'll do? Okay, it looks like this Yak 1 is still making himself my problem. That is actually a mistake from him. He has to kill me in this head-on now. If he fails to, which he has, he's burnt too much of his energy. He's not going to be above me. He can sprint if he likes, but he can't keep doing this, because at some point he is going to run out of energy. Ow. Oh, he's not if I'm being destroyed by Yak 9. That wasn't even thinking about. Okay, now we're in trouble. Took a couple hits there, but we're okay. Alright, alright. You're going to be okay. We got a Yak 9 behind. Can't outturn him now. This could be our first death on our first battle. That's not a great... Oh, it's going to be our first death. Can't turn at all now. Oh, come on, Spit. Okay, not a great start. Not a great start, but it's only our first battle. I haven't played for a little bit. That is rough. That is rough. That's not the way you want to start one of these challenges. The good news is, at least I don't have to change the... How many battles won? None. Okay, well that's not great. I'm gonna be honest, walking into this I was feeling quite confident, but maybe now it's a little bit less confident. been a hot minute since I've played at 3.0. It's been a hot minute since I've played like props in general. We've really been doing a lot of jets. But I guess what better way of getting back into it than doing one of these challenges again. At the end of the day, the way these challenges always go is you start off rough. You always start off rough. And then you start hitting the vibe, finding the tempo, you know? It's hard to describe, but it always starts badly and always finishes quite well. Traditionally, I always lose at least once just before the end, which we really can't afford to do this time, because if I get to 100 battles and I die, I'm going to count that as close enough. I mean, if we get to 111, you know, we might as well keep going at that point. Should turn off the War Thunder chat. Let's just cruise, baby. Let's just cruise. So why is the stream unlisted? Well, I sort of figured that literally no one who I've told this plan to believes that it is possible. I told David that this is what we were gonna do, and he was like, "You need help, man." Like, yeah, I can understand that. I can, but you know, then again, like, I am very confident in the Spitfire. Now, the Mark 1A is not a great Spitfire, to be fair. I think we're mostly going to spend a lot of our time in the Mark 9. This one. It's my favourite Spitfire. It's a 4.3. It's got pretty good matchups against anything that you can realistically see. If it can't outrun it, it can definitely outturn it. And if it can't outturn it, it can definitely outrun it. So that's why I'm thinking that Spit is where we're going to spend most of our time. But for the last battle, so the 110th battle, I will take out the Griffin, the 6.7. And for the first battle, it only makes sense to use, of course, the Spitfire Mark 1A, the very first of the Spitfires. Or at least the first Spitfire in the tech tree that you can get here. Do I like the 1A? Not really. It's fine as things go. I figure we'll bounce around the tech tree a bit just to try and keep ourselves engaged and awake. But the Mark 1 is definitely a Spitfire of all time, for sure. I mean, it's not particularly bad at anything, it's just lacking the Hispanos is really the big problem, because when you're flying the Spitfires a lot, especially like the Mark 9, which I've already said is my favourite, but the Mark 2B and the Mark 5, you really get a good inkling for the aiming with the Hispanos. And then the moment you switch back to these 7.7s, all of a sudden you can't hit diddly squat anymore. So, what are the big concerns for me? Certainly people in a squad usually have the, is Mr. Knight in a squad here? No. You know, people who are flying with their buddies, they're definitely ones that you need to watch out for when you're doing these types of challenges, because it's very, very easy to end up getting swamped. I mean, you know, I used to say I start to crack at a 4v1. I don't think that's true anymore. I think I can still win a 2v1 if I'm like paying attention, but I'd say the overall skill of War Thunder players has increased slightly, and my skills have decreased from not really flying it as much as I used to. So yeah, I'm not feeling as confident as perhaps I was 10 minutes ago. But I'm hoping that these battles will usually take about 10 minutes, which means that potentially we can do, let's say we do 5 battles every hour. Usually I wouldn't do this, but because of the challenge, I'm gonna have to. Just kind of want that juicy assist, you know? Yeah, there's no way he keeps flying after that. Yay! We got an assist! I feel a sense of achievement, like I've just unlocked Darth Vader in whatever stupid game it was. Okay, it's BF109E7. Bad news for him is he can't outrun me. And he's decided to enter a turn. Which is a bad idea. Oof. My aim is a bit rough. Score ourselves a hit. Oh my god. Careful. You don't do that. That is a bad way to go. Dumb ways to die. Oh. I-153. He's gonna make himself my problem very rapidly. Here's the good news though. He is a biplane. I am a monoplane. I can't outturn him. What I can do is just physically outrun him. Like, yeah. He could definitely drop me at a flip of a hat. If I was dumb enough to engage in a turn fight with him, but I'm not. I wonder if that fucker wolf is going to make it home. I did get severe, so... Kinda hoping he doesn't, but the way he's flying, it looks like he's going to. I'm not seeing like lots of trailing smoke or anything, which is really what I'm looking for. Ah, what do we have over here? Got a little bit of a group. He looks like he's still flying perfectly okay. Which I'm a bit confused about if he's got severe damage. Surely he should be falling from the air like a stone. I-153, a couple I-16s, like 3, nothing super to worry about. I-16 is probably the biggest concern. Basically, an I-16 is like an I-153, but it's a little bit faster, which is a bit of a challenge for us. So I guess he did crash at the end of the day. Nicely done. This is looking like a much better battle for us. Looks like our team has stayed in the fight, which is nice. There is going to be some luck involved in this. I'm not going to beat around the bush. There is going to be some luck. But again, if everyone on my team is dead apart from me, I am going to let myself J out on the airfield, thus surviving the battle, quote unquote. Yeah, I could have told you that was going to be the result. What I need is for one of these guys to like single-mindedly hunt one of the other guys. Looks like those I-16s are getting dropped. Let's see if we can deal with this I-153. He's going to be so maneuverable. I hate dealing with these. I hate them so much. It's like not even fun. It's just like a little UFO back there. Basically only one way you can play it against them, which is just like, okay, I've had a swing at you, I'm gonna disappear now, have fun. But like, as long as you do that, as long as you never take the turn with them. Ooh, that was just terrible shooting that. And now you're in trouble, now you got the I-153 in front of you. Love how you just forgot about the lag, you're like, oh, don't really care. We actually should not be alive right now. I'm not sure how we are. I-153 should have killed me right there. Is it just these two left? Yeah, and they're in a squad as well, so we've got to keep that in mind. These guys are probably in voice comms, probably know what they're doing. No wonder the lag turned to have the I-153 give me a whack. I've got 1,000 rounds left, so we've got plenty. See if we can slow these guys down. I mean, the lag can outrun me, but the his little friend back there definitely 100% cannot. Oh my god. Okay, we're getting into a turn fight with him, I don't care. This guy is so good at just out-turning everything. And the lag's coming back around. But at the end of the day, they can both only do this for so long. There will come a time, probably quite soon, that we shoot one of them down. Gotta cool the engine. Have to cool the engine. No option other than cool the engine. I gotta cool it a lot, actually. Right, like, turn it off and maybe cool it? Come on. 88 you should be able to live with. 87 you can definitely live with. Can't. Cannot even keep going at 87 now, apparently. Well, I got one of his friends. So that's good. I got 162 rounds left, so I've got enough for maybe one more run, and then that's it. Now I've got to be very careful because my engine is overheating. I mean, basically, I'm quite happy to let him turn as much as he likes. Right, last roll of the dice here. Either he dies or he doesn't. Got 162 rounds. Okay, we gotta get out of here. Okay, well that looks like smoke. I'm like 100% out of ammo. All I'm doing here is just trying to keep him from getting back to his base. Alright. We're out. Cool the engine just a touch more. I just want to see if I can make him dodge one more time. Can. Wonder how long we can play this game for. I mean, he's got to be done. We'll leave him be. GG's, well played. Easy dubs. Easy dubs. Well played. It was a 15-minute long battle, so that took us too long. Nicely done, though. Nicely done. Can now add 1 to our little text here. 1. Holy Jesus. We are less than 1% there. Yep. I volunteered for this. Alright. It's time to pull in the big guns, the heavy artillery. If there's going to be a girl that gets us through it, it's going to be this one. I mean, this is by far the best Spitfire. It's the Spitfire Mark 9, 20mm Spanos, 4 7.7mm machine guns, the correct armament for any Spitfire. But most importantly, she's speedy, she's fast, and, at least in this BR, she can deal with just about anything that can be thrown at her. So it looks like 3.7 is like the lowest we'll see. No one's at 3.7 though. Everyone's at 4.0 or higher. Ugh, that's fine. In all truth, it really doesn't matter to the Spitfire. I mean, you could bring the Spitfire Mark 1 to 4.3 and she'd still do just fine, because the way the Spitfire fights most people, I should say most people, the way the Spitfire fights most people, with some notable exceptions, is by outturning them. So, yeah, pretty easy. Cruising, rocking and rolling, down to the beach I'm strolling, but the seagulls, not fun. Seagulls, stop it now. Do do dee da boop boop beep ba boop beep ba boop boop beep ba. I'm also hoping that well, it might be the wrong way around actually. Maybe like the lower BR you are, the faster the games go. That might be something that we keep in mind, because I could be playing the Spitfire right now, Mark 1, if it's a faster battle. Our last battle ended at like 9 minutes, so therefore it started at 25. It's about 15 minutes. 15 minutes means it's about 4 battles an hour. Which means it's going to take me, oh god, 27 hours. And, well, basically 28 hours. Assuming I never die again. I will admit that is a tall order. that is going to be a lot of footage. I mean, I won't be able to save 27 hours of footage. I won't be able to keep it all on my hard drive. That's why I'm doing this unlisted stream. So that, assuming I ever actually do finish it, anyone who's like super doesn't trust me, which to be fair, if someone told me that they did 111 battles without dying, I would go, uh-huh. But anyone who doesn't trust me can potentially go and watch the unlisted streams. Once we've achieved it, I will obviously relist these streams, or if we achieve it, I should say. That Yak 3 is a problem. The way that you would play this if you were like really clutching up would be, wow, he has just knocked down 2 people in the space of like 3 seconds. If you were really doing this with the intention of surviving above all else, the way you would do it is side climb. Side climb and side climb hard. You know? Stay out of the biggest reaches of the fight. We really haven't got a kill yet, eh? Okay, I'm not going to be able to outrun... Oof. Okay, well now we're getting ourselves into a problem. Can't outrun the yak behind me. I don't really want to be doing a 2v1 with one of them being a yak 3. I can outturn a yak 3 though. Pretty easily. Especially if he chooses to turn with me. He will win that first turn. But not any of the subsequent turns, I should say. Whoa. Is this guy actually beating a Spitfire? If a Yak 3 is beating a Spitfire on a turn fight, I'm uninstalling this game. No, it's not. Rookie errors, my dude. Maybe in a good plane, I won't deny that that Yak 3 performs way better than it should, but when it comes to a turn fight against a Spitfire, it really doesn't matter how good your plane performs. Unless it starts with 0, it ain't winning. It was a bit close though. we did roll the dice a couple of times. If he follows him into that, he dies. He burns all of his energy trying to get a shot that he's never going to get in a million years. Unless I miss every single one of my shots. Alright, we're picking up 2. There's an I-185 behind. That's another vaguely concerning one. Looks like that BF-109 is currently being chased by the rest of the team. Very good. We are on a Russian server, it seems. Excellent. Excellent. There's nothing I enjoy more in my life than forcibly disassembling a Russian player's Russian planes. Doesn't matter how much bias you've got, if you never figured out how to actually fly. That is the worst plan I've ever seen in my entire life. And he bails out of it. When you got someone like behind you or close to you, and you're suddenly doing like the pull up, oh, I'm gonna get a cheeky shot on that guy above me, you are literally showing them the slowest, largest moving target that you possibly could. It's like showing someone a barn door. If they miss, it's because they have a skill issue. And it has to be quite severe. Alright. Pretty sure that guy's going to be shot down pretty quickly. Now here's the thing. I actually don't have that many orders. I have 6 orders for Blind Hunt, which you would think is a lot, but it's actually not really that many at all. Because all it takes is 6 people to... Oh, it must be okay. So he's got to be above one of our pillboxes then. Over here. Okay, well those look intact. These guys don't, so he must be somewhere over here. One would guess. See if I'm right. I do have an ace crew on the Spitfire, so... Really? This BF-109 is still somehow alive? What are you guys doing? Like... This guy should have been dead several seconds ago. Yeah, I actually don't think you needed to do that. I would have found him anyway. Let's use 6. Yet another Russian plane in this Russian server. Let us forcibly send him back to the Shadow Realm from whence he came. Tally-ho, soldiers, tally-ho. think I might give myself one battle of grace every day, I'm thinking. Because, like, if you think, oh, the first battle's always warm-up, then I should probably give myself a battle to warm up with, you know? Nicely done. Get to up my counter now. That's a juicy 2. We are actually on track. Like, we're doing basically a battle every 10 minutes. Which means that we'll do 6 battles an hour. Which is much better maths than what we had before. So 6 divided by, 111 divided by 6 is only 18.5 hours. Which is, I mean, still pretty crazy, but a lot more reasonable. Not a lot to report right now, I must admit. Probably just gonna flick through some reels. See, now this is the dangerous bit. You know, when you start like, oh, settling in for the long haul. I mean, of course, you do have to settle in at some point. Do, 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 do. It's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. Not a lot to report. I'd just like to point out that not a single one of my loyal viewers believes that this can be done. I wonder if we'll start changing minds. I wonder at what point do we think we'll start changing minds? I mean, basically, it's you and me here, right? So if you're here, then I must have done it. So at what point do we think that my loyal viewers, I'm using loyal very liberally here, decided that they would be able to, that I would win? You know? When did they go and say, you know what, maybe Max does have a chance? I think a lot of them are going to hold out until, like, Battle 75. I'm not planning on start doing these streams until we hit 25. Like, not publicly. Once we've hit 25 battles in a row without dying, that's when we'll do our first public stream for someone to watch. Because I don't think anyone is super interested in watching the first, like, oh, 1 out of 111, oh, 2 out of 111, oh, 3 out of 111, you know? Like, no one wants to watch that. What they want to start watching is when we start hitting bigger numbers, like 25, 30. 50 is going to be a big milestone. If we can make it to 50, that's a good sign that we've got, you know, a chance. A chance. Even just a chance. 50 is a sign that we've got a glimmer of hope. Right now, at 2, hopefully about to be 3, it's not that much to really say, is there? You know, we just don't know enough right now to really figure out what the odds are. I mean, let's have a look. I've played 470 battles in this plane, and I've died 275 times, so slightly more than 50% of the time I die in this plane, or slightly less than 50% of the time I die in this plane. Again, I'm hoping that those numbers are wrong. I'm hoping that those numbers are based on when I was like 12. And now that I am not 12, it will all come to us a lot easier. There's no way this Focke-Wulf wants to get me involved in this, is there? Like, you've got other problems, yeah. He's like, I've got 2 people on my tail, I see. Let's make it 3. Okay, the vast majority of the enemy team has in fact been shot down now. We've got a couple of these guys left, a couple of the BF-109s. Where did the P-51s go? He's down there. FAF is sort of running vaguely away. Maybe engage old Stanley here. That was a maneuver of all time, for sure. I mean, look. BF-109 at altitude, I'm not going to tell you that's a lot of risk. The whole thing about this, though, is that we physically have to take risks. Otherwise, this challenge will go on forever. There's a button. Oh. I'm the target, hey? I was like, why is he coming towards me? Well, I'm the target for 7 more seconds. It's not really the end of the world. Juicy 5000, hand it over. Look, this man has got to be at like 7,000 meters or so. Like, at a certain point, you have to start thinking. You know, is climbing gonna do anything more for me than I already have? He's got more energy than me. There's no denying that. My job is not necessarily to shoot this man down, although that would be ideal. My job is just to build up my own speed, not have an aneurysm because there's a BF-109 behind me. I just have to bleed his energy. Otherwise, we're going to be here for a million years. Hey, do you know what you're doing? Yeah, kinda. You're level 44, so... You weren't born yesterday, but then again... Is he going to follow me into this dive? No, he's going to keep on chugging. Force him to do something. Okay, he's got another good chance here if he knows how to use it. But he doesn't. He's turning to dodge the other sea fire, which is a very smart plan for him to do. Well, that does. It lets me get underneath him. So now he has to do something else. He's going to turn again. See those big contrails coming off of his wings? You know what that means? It means he's bleeding energy. That means he had a lot of energy, and now he's starting to bleed it. Starting to bleed some of his speed. Starting to, I mean, at least have to negotiate with going head on with me here. I'm not actually that dumb. Spitfires never win in head on, so don't take it. But you see, now we're getting lower. We were at like 7,000 easy. Now we're at 5,000. I want to pull a cheeky one. No, he's still got way too much energy versus me. But again, my job here is not to shoot him down. My job is to bring him down, bring him closer to my team. If we can do that, we've got a good chance. The Seafire is taking a head on with him. And he doesn't win. I don't actually think he got a single hit in that. Okay. We're going to switch tactics here. We're going to climb hard. really hard. We're going to use every ounce of horsepower that this Rolls-Royce Merlin engine possesses to bank altitude. I'm going to get to about 8,000, and then we're going to swing back in. So I've had enough of this guy just using his energy advantage over us to just take swipes. Not anymore. Now I've got more energy than he... Really? That right there was the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen someone do. And he played it so well up until that point. Why would you head on a Seafire, which is already, like... Isn't his engine gone? Isn't he already leaking? Like, why? What did you get from that? You know? Like, at the end of the day, isn't he going down already? Or is it another one? Must have been that guy. I mean, if we survive, I'll take it. It's not like we weren't doing anything this fight. I'm gonna go whiz over to their airfield and see if there's anyone there. I can't tell. Definitely don't see anybody there. This is the problem with Avenger, like, it's not that useful of an order. We're gonna have to drop Blind Hunt again if we're gonna want to hunt some of these guys down. I mean, presumably there must be one of them down here. At least one of them has to be up and flying about somewhere. Can't order Blind Hunt. Someone else has used it already. That's pretty tragic. Have any other orders? Avenger be the best. Domination. Jack of all trades. Anti-mech. AA. Yeah, nothing that's really gonna help out here. Tell you what, let's jump down to 3,000 meters. Let's take a look. Really is no one there. Probably would have flown towards the A point, right? I mean, one of them's a doe, so he must be flying. Aha. Yeah, so I see the fucking wolf. Fucking wolf! He's 19 clicks out. But, on the Spitfire, it's a very fast little aircraft, especially in a dive. Against a Focke-Wulf that's on the ground. We can all see. That's the one problem. Everyone can see him. Looks like he is flying towards me though, so. He's gotta still be going this way because I see the traces. Yeah, I see him. You see him down there? There we go. 7, 6, 5. I'll be first in. So we're gonna get, well, we should get an assist here at least, as long as we can hit him once. What's he gonna do? Boom up to me? Yep. No way you're trying that, is there? Easy. 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 Very, very easy. Splash. You like to hear it. You do like to hear it. So the good news is we can now see what sector the other guy is in. So we know he's over here. This is going to be one that uses the full 30 minutes. Oh my god. That's rough. Okay, so if he was in this one, and he's just passed over to this one, then he's got to be along here somewhere. So he should be somewhere in here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Should be right with me right now. Look around, boys, look around. Watch that target. There he is. It's the advantage of having an ace crew. Makes it so much easier when you're hunting for people. Right, this is a risk. It's a risk because it's a bomber. So it could all end in a single hit with his rear guns. It doesn't. And we stay in the fight. It's always a risk going for the bomber. Always a risk. Good job. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we like to see. Some more progress towards my... I've just started researching the Lancaster, because like I don't have any of the jets right now, and I kind of do need them. But yeah, I'm trying to save some money. Okay, let's update the thing. We're at 3. Not bad. Not bad. Been lucky so far. I kind of want to get to 5 today, and then we'll leave it. I'll go do some studying. Maybe we'll do 5 more tomorrow. Or 5 more later today. Cruising, rocking and rolling. Down to the beach I'm strolling, but the seagulls, da 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 da, not fun. Yeah, the Russians are rough. Don't really want to beat the Russians if I can avoid it, but okay, that's not what I want to see either. We really do need to be avoiding that, boys. We can't really be having people shooting us down during this. Otherwise, that will make it a lot more difficult. I suppose, I mean, think about what this is going to do to my service record, though. Gonna go absolutely through the roof if we can pull it off. Okay, we're gonna have to start flying defensively now. I don't like it, you don't like it, no one likes it, but it doesn't for this challenge, for this one challenge, it doesn't really matter if we get a kill, an assist, or if we're just alive at the end. As long as we're not sitting by the airfield or climbing the other direction of the enemy. I don't see how side climbing is really a no-no. Yeah, I think my goal for this is, like, every day I'm going to try and do 5 battles. So, about an hour, really. I'm aiming for an hour of this challenge a day. Every day. And then that will start adding up quite quickly. You know, so today we'll stop at 5. Tomorrow we'll stop at 10. Day after we'll stop at 15. Day after that we'll stop at 20. Then 25. And 30. And so on and so forth until eventually we're at the goal. I mean, you guys can pick which battle is for you. You and 10 other people are sharing one battle. I'm sorry. I wish I could do 1111 a battle for each of my subscribers. That would be such a good video title, but I don't actually think I've ever flown 1000. Yeah, I've done 3,454 battles in the entirety of my War Thunder career so far. So that would be a lot, and to do that without dying once, I do believe would actually be impossible, like genuinely impossible. This one, I think, is gonna be almost what is that Corsair doing? Okay, I really strongly recommend you guys, before you take out a plane, at least learn what your plane is good for. It's like, you know, you should know that a Corsair is not going to outturn a Spitfire. Like, I mean, I guess he knows it now, but you should probably know that before you jump in the Corsair. The whole thing about the Corsair is that you never actually have to get into a turn fight with a Spitfire if you don't want to. Just fly straight and level and they will never catch you. I can't catch this Corsair if he turns away from me. I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to go for the Polomensky instead. But if he just he flies towards me and he asks for a turn fight, I will happily give it to him. You want some, lad? You want some? I'll give it you. Pomorowski is actually the bigger threat to me, but the Corsair's the easier kill, so... Especially if this BF-19 drags him vertical for me. Boop! Yeah, very, very easy kill. It's a shame I couldn't save him, but he made it very easy for me. Let's jump on the Pomorowski. Alright, what's your plan? Bad plan. Maybe good plan if I can't aim. Bad plan. P-47 I actually genuinely don't care about. Looks like I'm gonna have to get involved in one of these fights down here. Ooh. Okay. Now this could well be our first battle where we actually have to do a J out here. I'm gonna jump on this LA-7. I'm gonna try and keep my Spitfire guy alive. If I can. Gotta be very careful here. I don't get myself killed trying to save him. Looks like that Yak 9 is damaged beyond all feasible repair. I mean, no, it's not all feasible repair. He can still definitely get that fixed if he managed to get back to the airfield. But will he be able to get back to the airfield is perhaps the bigger question. Just trying to keep some energy and altitude. As that is my way out. That's my emergency. Oh crap, everything has gone wrong. You know? Nice. See if we can get this LA-7. Let's get back up to altitude. Okay. Okay. Alright. I can't J out in the airfield because we still got like B-26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 1. I like those odds. A couple more and it might actually be able to give me a challenge. He says moments before he dies. Alright boys, let's not overthink this. It's not a 5v1, it's just 5 1v1s. One of them is a P-47, so... And he's low, so how he's first on their team, genuinely don't know. He should be studied. In terms of ammunition, don't have a lot left. We've got 100 rounds of cannon ammo, which, when you consider I've shot down 3 people, I actually did pretty good at burst fire there. I mean, the ideal situation for me is that this P-47 keeps whacking all of our howitzers and such. Okay, we're gonna whack him and then we're gonna get out of here. That's the plan. Whack him, get back to the base, rearm, repair. Only because he's first on the team. Like, if he wasn't first, I wouldn't give a crap. But what can I say? I'm a vindictive guy, I suppose. Okay, he must be somewhere down there. He's right there. My pilot's just blind. Okay, what's your plan? What's your defense? Good defense, didn't work. Let's get out of here. Let's turn fuel into speed and power. I've actually still got 30 rounds left, so we could fight on. We could. Oh well, we got 4 people to shoot down, all fighters. Yeah, we would be well served going back to the base and grabbing some more ammunition. That's a pretty difficult 2v1 if I've ever seen it. So, let's get home. I mean, like, I could do this. I could. It's not that hard. Basically, we just have to do what we've done again. We've already killed 4. We can kill 4 more. The only difficulty is the fact that the rest of my team is dead. wonder what Airport 42A is going to do. It'd be very stupid to just sally out, but like, he is a bomber, so I'm sure he just wants to get on to the next battle. You know, he's got better things to be doing than circling the airfield. They keep ground pounding, eventually they'll just win from tickets, which, to be honest with you, I really don't care about. Like, I would rather they win from tickets than have to keep fighting on like this. Or, more specifically, I'd rather that bomber just crashes and dies so that I can J out on the airfield. So you're gonna ooh, okay, fair enough. I mean, that is the correct decision. That is undoubtedly for him the correct decision. It's just for me, for this challenge, I really wish he would just, you know, go do his own thing for a bit. Okay, we're gonna do some nice hard turns to slow ourselves down. It's probably enough. Still coming in a bit too fast, apparently. Gears and flaps, boys. Center line of the runway. We're not damaged, so this should be the textbook. Here we go. Beautiful. Flaps raised. Limit the lift coming from the wing. Therefore, putting more of our weight onto the brakes and hopefully slowing us down. And with a Spitfire, you have to release just before the end, otherwise you will roll her over. Oh, that's what an ace crew gets you. Solid 9 seconds on the airfield before repaired and ready to go. I mean, there's gotta be... there's something to be said for that. There is. Alright. Plane's repaired. The one good news we have, the one news that we can cling to, is that this is not just any plane. This is not just a BF-109. It's not a P-47. It's not an American, you know, clog iron with wings. This is a Supermarine Spitfire. Arguably the best interceptor slash fighter of World War II. In her D-Day colours, with my baby written on the side, with her Canadian flag flying proudly. If there's any plane that could pull off 8 kills in a battle when the rest of the team is dead, it's this girl right here. Anyway, for now, the strategy is simple. We bounce our leg up and down a bit from anxiety, because I kind of don't want to leave. I don't really want to lose this one. That would suck quite a lot. But we go in and we just fight as many 1v1s as we humanly possibly can. We got this Pomaleski. He's leaking something. Leaking fuel? Leaking from his radiator? Okay. The plan remains the same as it always has been. Tend to take the head on, never take the head on. Oof. Immediately get into the turn fight. Gotta keep an eye out though. I'm a bit worried that someone else is going to join this. Yeah, someone else has joined us. Who? Yak 3. Shoot. Oh. Yeah, we're done. Unfortunately. That is it. Good fight though. Good fight. Tough one. That's where we're gonna have to end it today.